back. We're playing some more Concatenation because well, I'm having fun. I don't know if I'm going to admit that I have a problem, but it's been easier to stream with something that feels like it moves on continuously and we're making progress and people are showing up for. So it's been easier to stream this than some of the other things. Plus, I'm just having fun exploring this mod pack and everything. So, it's feels like it's been a while. The holidays were crazy. Um, a lot of stuff has been happening. Um, as I'm looking around, you may notice some stuff is missing around the base. I've started packing because at some point in the near future, we're moving out. So we're getting to the point where we can start picking up our stuff and head out. Yep, it's... I mean, yeah, it's... Uh-oh. It's... Well, I don't know if it's actually moving day, but we're definitely getting ready. Yeah, so all the stuff up on the second floor is all packed up. I was trying to leave the stuff that I use the most often for last, so the processing machine setup that I have in here is still all connected and everything. But the cobblestone generator setup is all packed up. A couple of the chests are packed up. Most of the stuff was taken down already. I'm probably not going to bother with all the wood bits and random bits of deep slate. Probably still need to pack up a few more of these boxes, or chests. Honestly, trying to remember how to play without parkour has been a passive challenge this whole time. I keep wanting to, like, long jump and, like, ledge grab and all kinds of other stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just do this to get up there. And it's like, oh, wait, no, we don't have that ability. Yeah, we're gonna need more cardboard boxes. I think means we need to stick more stuff into the sawmill. Still sad none of the stuff is labeled. I think the other box that actually had the like logs and whatnot in it, I think it's already packed up. Some of the stuff I'm not sure what we're gonna do with. Yeah, it'll probably get packed up too eventually. We're moving that there. I never actually did anything with it. So I think the whole setup up here is taken down. Like all the applied energistics stuff that I had going on up here. Yeah, I took down already. Soon. Soon. I will never have to look out at this again. I think I just saw a pillager fall into powder snow and die. Oh, wait, no. No, there he is. But yes, soon we won't have to look at this anymore, and I won't have to get stuck in powder snow. And I can see biomes that have things in them other than snow and ice and more snow. Yeah. I do think it's funny that I ended up in a situation where there were so many different biomes, but it's all just different flavors of like ice and snow. If we have any bones left over there. Oh wait, no, the monster is over here. So I think we might need to gather up more lumber to put into the sawmill, because we need sawdust to make oh gosh, how did that process even go? Sawdust to make... Oh, yeah, it's just one step. It's just sawdust is made into cardboard boxes. So yeah, we just need to toss more stuff in there. That's a good point, actually. I should figure out whatever else is over in that other spot and go finish looting everything out of there. Continue making use of my illegal tinker's workshop. Okay, we still have a few things that I need to work on. I'm just not exactly sure where I am in the process of getting all this stuff done. Step out. Because we are still, for the time being, trapped in the horrible snow biome, so can't forget my snowshoes. I gathered everything that we had out here. It's like the stuff's regrowing. I'm probably not gonna like completely strip out the farm, because I don't really want to just like straight up destroy the stuff that we do have out here. I just want to pack up all the essentials. Oh, speaking of the essentials, I probably need to pack up all the stuff regarding the portal to this and the quarry. But it's probably going to be something that'll take a few trips back and forth, so... The door to this place is in like the least convenient spot for my where my base is. Definitely gotta take these, because those are still beyond the level of stuff we can make. Yeah, may as well take the whole like pipe structure that we have hanging out over here. So hopefully I can just pack all this stuff up into the create chest, and then we can take all that once we're ready. Inventory is a mess as usual, so nothing's changed there. This is a slightly odd one, but I think I'm going to gather up these cobwebs too. I think I might have a use for them a little bit, depending on how much stuff we get set up and all that. Not completely sure. All that decorative quartz is just kind of hanging out there, so probably just take that with us. I don't think it really serves any purpose here. put it in my horribly overcrowded inventory, but yeah, whatever. I'm not exactly sure where we are on, like, the metallurgy end of things, but I know that if we had the right equipment, we could melt this down and repurpose the quartz into components for tools and whatnot. I don't know if our thermal, whichever mod it is out of the thermal stuff, like, will let us do that at this point. But it is a thing that can happen, so I figured I should probably grab a bunch of this stuff. I know Tinkers will let you do it, because you can just toss it into the melter and get molten quartz, which you can then make into blocks of quartz, or even turn back into quartz crystals again. Enrichment chamber. What is that? Why am I spending energy to turn smooth quartz stairs into... Oh, it's going backwards to quartz stairs. Okay, why would you want to do that? And then the crusher will change it into smooth... What? I don't understand why... I don't understand why you'd do that. I don't know. We'll figure out what to do with those later. Anyway, we're gathering the more valuable stuff out of here. I think there was something on top of that, and I might have forgotten about it and it despawned. I don't know. Maybe Mikami's right and I am a hoarder, but I feel like some of this stuff is just stuff I'm going to end up needing at some point. Maybe it's just that mana and artifice mentality of, like, needing all kinds of weird, obscure blocks for stuff. It's like, oh, of course you're going to need random bits of coral. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, I don't know what we need chains for exactly, but... all I know is some of this stuff is annoying to have to craft. I don't necessarily want to have to make it if I can just have some sitting around. Actually, on that note, that's still the other thing that I was supposed to be getting going that I don't think I have yet, was the applied energetics storage system and all that. Do I want to pack up the item vaults? I don't think I do. I don't think we're going to end up, at least right now, with a, like, logistics setup that's so complicated that we're going to be feeding items in large quantities into that thing. Those are copycat panels. Interesting. Okay, so none of that's actually made out of the material, it looks like. Giant gross bug. Portable storage interface. I don't know. That stuff seems less important. We can always come back for it at some other point in time. I want to drop off the create stuff, and we should definitely at least check in on what's with all the giant flies. Get out of here. We should definitely at least check in on what's going on in Dis. Sounds like we got a spider. I don't know where they spawned. Uh-oh. Hello, where'd you come from? Apparently, we, need to take a nap. The sleep paralysis demons are out. Oh, right, the main create chest is already backed up. Okay, like, some of the stuff is going to end up disorganized, I guess. That's kind of whatever at this point. As long as the majority of the stuff gets to where we're going, I think that's all that really matters. Did I really only take 2 lanterns? I swear I broke more of those than that. Ah. Okay. Still haven't had any luck with that. Still have not been able to find any more anomaly shards. Then again, maybe that'll be easier when we get to the point where we can check out some of those anomalies that actually are on the ground and not in the ocean somewhere. Okay, sounds like we need to take a bit of a nap. Beverage time. Okay, that's better. It needs to wake up a little bit in-game and out. It's amazing that that's not going to melt the snow it's attached to. Okay, so I don't think there's anything important left in here, so I'll probably close this door. Freaking snow that's piled up. I don't remember how much oreberry juice it takes to get material. Let's see. Iron, nickel. Takes 1,000? Okay, I don't know if 40 is going to be all that useful then. How much do we get from one of these? It doesn't say. Might just take the L on that, because I don't think we have much, Actually, how many oreberries do we have sitting around? I don't even know. Kind of a lot of some of these. Oh, thinking about that, we need to go and check on the oreberries. I haven't looked down there in ages. Get out of here. See, I don't think any of the stuff out here is in need of being picked up. The stuff all on the roof, there are some important things, like we gotta take down the solar panels once we're done. But that doesn't need to get messed with right this second, so worry about that in a little while. Oh yeah, I forgot about this thing. The arboreal extractor that I built, what, like last week, I think? I don't remember. There we go. This thing is gathering resin out of the tree for us. It's got a lot. And we were in the process of gathering this stuff and turning it into fuel we could use to run some of our machines. So, oh wait, I forgot, if we use bucket mode, I don't need to use the actual bucket. I can just use this and just scoop out all the resin. There we go. And then we can feed that into the machine inside at some point. But for right now, let's go see what's going on. Oh, wait. I wanted to check down here, because there's some more stuff that we need to pack up at some point. Yeah, I haven't been down here in quite a while, and it's bad because this is all resources we could have been using. All these ore berries. A continuous source of copper, nickel. I mean, copper we probably have plenty of, but nickel actually I think was something we were running low on. Aluminum we don't even have a way to properly process yet, so that's a big deal. So on that note, let's just go ahead and pick these guys up and we'll start adding them to the chest that we have back at base. We're definitely bringing these with us because these are rare and like literally a like renewable why does that sound so stupid? Source of resources? It just sounds weird to say. But yeah, that's a lot of super valuable stuff that we're definitely not leaving here. As far as the actual mine itself, I don't think there's anything down there that we need. Oh, do we have a box left? I forgot. We could do something really, really silly now. What the heck just happened? How did you guys, like, break part of the ceiling? I forgot we didn't take all the stuff out of here. I don't know what of that stuff we need. It's still dark enough in here for you to spawn? Wow. Not that. I want to mess with that later. I don't know if we're going to need source gems later. I don't know, maybe. We're pretty far removed. What the heck? Maybe they just don't care. Anyway, the thing I was going to do, because we have that power and we could abuse it, is this. Boop! Just pack up the spawner and take it with us. I don't know why we're allowed to have that power, but we have it. Don't think we're worried about the seeds, the moss blocks. I don't think I care about the music disc right now. That is mostly probably stuff that, again, we could come back for if it's a big deal. The main thing was the spawner itself. Because we have the ability now to just pack up the spawner and move it. I mean, we already had carry on, which lets us just pick up the thing and run around with it, but now you just straight up put it in your inventory, so. I don't think there was anything else down here. I think this was mostly just dealing with the terrain constantly collapsing on itself because this biome sucks. Okay, so that's that. Animals. I have no idea what we're gonna do with them. I don't think we have any particular way that we can like transport the animals. Let's offload some of this stuff and then check out what's going on in this. Yeah, so the farm stuff is handled because we should have enough, like, duplicates of all that stuff to be able to replant most of the things. I think we have seeds stashed in one of the containers. Oh yeah, here we go. Well, sort of. Wheat seeds, beetroot seeds, pumpkin, cabbage. And then a bunch of the other stuff we can just replant as it is. We can turn some of the tomatoes into tomato seeds. We can plant potatoes, carrots, onions. Yeah, so I think we should be set with most of that. Gotta pack up the kitchen at some point. Where's the stuff for the ore berries? Here we go. Okay, just move all that stuff over there. Good times. Yeah, look at this. 25 aluminum ore berry bushes. Yeah, I don't remember what exactly we're supposed to be using aluminum for, but we could definitely, like, start producing it in pretty large amounts with that. Maybe not large amounts, but definitely, you know, definitely some. Wait, really? One ore berry turns into 1,000 millibuckets of ore berry juice? How did we end up with 40 nickel in that one, then? How did that even happen? Okay, what else are we doing here? Yeah, there's still a bunch more stuff that needs to get packed up one way or another. Thought I meant to grab something to use as food. Okay. Tools away. Grab something to eat. And head to bed again. Because we spent the whole day running around like that. Okay. Let's see what the situation is over in Dis. Ooh. That button. That's what I wanted. Used up the last of the cardboard boxes. That just means we have to go and get some more lumber. That's fine. Don't know what we're going to do about all the stuff left over at the quarry. I guess that's just even more cardboard boxes, honestly. Because I don't want to figure out how we're going to move, like, 6,000 deep slate any other way. That's not even all the deep slate. Yes, we'll have to pack up some of this stuff too. Okay, so that's just more cardboard box stuff. Kind of scary to just have a couple of giant death pits like that. You know, maybe that's something we should do with all that deep slate. Should come back over here with a builder's wand and, like, cover up the top of that. So, one, so it doesn't look as bad. And two, so that I don't end up randomly falling into it later. Pretty sure there's still some powder snow there. Okay, what's the situation over here? This is still going. I'm not certain if it has been running the entire time or not. Certainly doesn't seem like there's a lot in here. But it also seems like we're just getting this stuff and not much of anything else. I feel like I have not had much luck as far as the quarry so far. It's supposed to generate all the resources I could ever need, if given, you know, the time and resources and all that. But so far, all it's given me is a whole bunch of this rock that's on the surface. Maybe I didn't pick a good spot to dig? I don't know. Okay, I don't know what's happening with all that stuff. You know what? Give me that. That'll actually make this a little simpler. Because if I take that out, then we could potentially just pack up the quarry while we're here. I don't know what we're doing with any of this stuff. I mean, the clay is useful, but that's not what we came here to gather. Yeah, I think this is just more come back here with more cardboard boxes type situation. Darn it! I don't know what to do. I'm not sure you take apart the quarry frame. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Most of this stuff doesn't really matter all that much at this point. Gravel, scoria. Honestly, yeah, I don't care about those. I don't care about those. I think what I'm going to do, honestly, is just pick this up, take it back through the portal with me, and the rest of this stuff can probably just stay here. I don't think any of it's all that important. On that note, I haven't tested how this works, so let's see what happens if we try to take this with us through the portal. Does that work? Yes, actually. Oh gosh, right. All the effects from going into... where am I supposed to... Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Stay there. I brought the bucket. I was partially prepared for this. Help. Oh. Okay. Go back to figuring out where the heck I was gonna put that. Okay, over with the rest of this stuff. Ew. Yeah, I think at the point we're at now, we just kind of need a bunch of boxes. Start packing up all the ores and everything. I don't know what fluoride's used for. There's always new materials that I just be like, okay, I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I think most of the stuff is getting pretty close to being ready. I don't know what we're doing about the animals. That's still the, like, one situation where I'm like, I don't know what we're doing with that. There's no eggs in there. Yeah, let's just put eggs in there. Let me just do that. Okay. So many items, so much stuff. No idea where any of it's supposed to go. Okay. Probably not ever going to be able to use that. Oh well. Unless we make the card to go over into that territory. You know what? Yeah, let's just get those out of there. Just a couple pieces of leather and some rocks, so no, that's irreplaceable. Yeah, I think at this point we just need a bunch more sawdust to just keep boxing up stuff. Load up some of the rest of this. Yeah, so that's part of why I left this whole setup here, is because I knew we were still going to need this stuff. Okay, what are the other ways we can use the sawmill to get sawdust? Is it just chopping up logs? Can we, like, grind other stuff down into sawdust? Oh! Okay, wait, we can take logs, oh, including the strip ones, and just pulverize them into sawdust. That's kind of perfect. It actually gives us more that way. At least I think it does. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because putting a log into the sawmill gives us 6 planks and some sawdust, which is better than just crafting it by hand. But the output is mainly planks, so we get a little bit of sawdust. If we use the pulverizer, it just turns the entire log into sawdust. Okay, that gives us a way to do this. I mean, I think it still loops back onto the fact that we don't have a lot of wood available, but that's something we can fix. We just go out with an axe. Scored stone, treated wood, war pick. We don't have either of those materials, so we can't fix that. We can't even make scorched stone. Yeah, so I think we just go out and chop some wood. On that note, I realized I'm pretty sure we packed up the mechanical saw, so we can't necessarily get the stuff that way. I do remember that I was thinking that I wanted to build an engine, but I don't know where I was on that whole thing. I was thinking that it'd be really neat to be able to use a more powerful vehicle to go on our trip, but I don't know if we necessarily have the stuff we'd need to do that. At this point, I kind of want to build an airship, but I don't know if we really have that option. Also, that one's the mechanical crafter, so... And we don't have a mechanical crafter set up. I mean, I guess we could make the mechanical crafter setup. We have brass. I think that is normally, yeah, like the main thing that stops you from doing that. So it's not out of the question. The trick is just if we can... Oh, that was the problem, I think, is that we need the card. Where's my book? Where'd my book end up? Uh-oh. I don't know where my book is. That's not good. What the heck happened to my book? There it is. How'd it get in there? That's weird. Anyway. Give that a second to get loaded. Okay. This thing's gotten a lot bigger since the last time we looked at it. And some things have moved around. So if I wanted to make the airship, we need to be able to make the basic engine, which is locked behind the chariot. Because the chariot is now the pathway that deals with it, like advanced vehicle construction and things like that. So we'd have a little bit of work to get through to get to that point, and then, of course, the glowing gold block issue and everything. I don't know if we have all the resources for that at this point. Oh yeah, because we just spent all of our resources making the High Priestess, which I think Mitemi was saying that I should have waited to make. The heck is that? Dense metal block. What's an oh gosh. Almamigrate. No, I don't know how to pronounce that. Almamigration. Amalmigration? No, there's not another R in there. I'm gonna look that up later. What even is it? Oh gosh. Diamond gear, infused diamond. Is this used up in that recipe? I am so lost. What on earth? What? Okay, so the new block is the Therme, which I believe is the machine that Mitemi added that lets us turn iron into galvanized iron, which is neat, but what the heck is this talking about? Dense metal block. I don't even know where that comes from. So I need to put the core inside of this thing. And if this has 1,000 millibuckets of liquid galvanized iron inside of it, it'll turn the dense metal block into this thing. This is so confusing and complicated. Liquid galvanized iron. I don't understand. looks like it's pretty much the same story for each of these processes. How did we get liquid galvanized iron? That is not the least bit helpful. How do you get liquid galvanized iron? Well, you pour it out of a container that has liquid galvanized iron. No! That's not how that works. I don't even know how we get it. It doesn't seem to have a proper recipe. Where does that stuff have a quest explaining it? I'm very confused at this point. Mm, yeah, no, like super confused. Okay, so the boiler stems out from here. Oh, wait. Here we go. Okay. Okay, we got a quest talking about this. Okay. The heater and the thermae are two low-tech machines that when combined... Oh, so there's another block that goes with this. That when combined could prove to be very useful in the production of galvanized iron. Okay, that's good, because galvanized iron is a nightmare to produce. Huh. The heater is placed at the bottom and can be filled with lava to serve as fuel to heat up the contents of the thermae placed above. I guess that's the only thing we can use? It is then used to infuse the block above, usually an iron block. Right-click the heater with the lava bucket to put in lava. Okay, no, we need more than that. What it... Okay. How about this? When the heater is fueled and the thermite is filled with crushed zinc, it will create liquid galvanized iron. This is a bit of a misnomer, as it isn't galvanized iron. It's primarily a zinc substance, but it's only used to make galvanized iron. Then, when the thermite contains over 1,000 millibuckets of galvanized iron, place an iron block in the dipping bath of the thermite, one block right above the thermite, to galvanize the block of iron. Okay, so we melt down zinc in this machine, and that gives us liquid galvanized iron. And then we can use that to transform some of these blocks into other blocks. Dense metal block. Place a copper block on top of the thermite. Except that we need to put an entire block of galvanized iron in there? Oh my gosh. This is really expensive. uh, I don't... I don't know that this is necessarily better. This seems harder to do than the old recipe. Oh, here we go with the zinc casings again. In boiler, which... Oh, look at all that galvanized iron. And from the looks of it, I don't even think you could take a block of galvanized iron and turn it into like iron ingots, which is strange to think about. If it's an entire block of galvanized iron, shouldn't that be worth 9 galvanized iron ingots? I don't know how to feel about that. Presumably it's still a work in progress. I know Bintemi said that some of the tech changes weren't actually finished. So I'm hoping that that gets fixed at some point, because that seems like a bit of an issue. Steam-powered crusher. Oh, this is like low-tech alloying stuff. That would have been useful before. Oh, right, and the boiler actually has a use now instead of just being a component block for other machines. Of those who have ventured into Dis, the marble realm, they may have found marble quite useless. However, this marble contains traces of other metals, often precious such as diamond and silver. This steam-powered crusher can be used to crush marble powders, but crushing wheel and pulverizer remain more efficient. Yeah, the pulverizer is more efficient, but it's also really energy intensive. So, I don't know, that might be an option. Oh wow, yeah, thinking about that, technically speaking, we no longer meet the prerequisite to go over this way and get into stuff for the High Priestess, because there's this whole quest line that popped up here. I guess that explains why I didn't understand what was going on with the Thermi, because that just is stuff that leads to where we were going. But man, there's a lot of extra steps now. It still feels strange that this can't be used to make just regular galvanized iron ingots. I don't know, maybe it can at a smaller scale? I don't know. Let's see. Nope, those are the only recipes it has so far. All I know is this thing better not get used up, because that's ridiculously expensive. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot of steps. And every bit of this wants galvanized iron, which is still not actually any easier to make for the purpose of making any of these machines. We got a thing that makes galvanized iron more easily, but it also doesn't, which is frustrating. You can make whole blocks of it, but the blocks can't be separated into ingots. Okay. Whatever, I'm going to bed. I think we're just going out to chop lumber for now. I think that's where we are. Magba. Kind of forgot I just randomly left that there. These trees are ridiculous. I wish I still had that saw available. I guess I could unpack the chest, but I don't know if I know which one it is. Oh, that actually worked. I made it. Okay, cool. Yeah, some of these are way too big. And the Hierophant apparently just doesn't have a way of cutting down large trees. Like, I guess you have to use one of the other pathways methods. Have all these machines and high-tech things and all that, but none of them will let me cut down a tree any faster. I mean, Hermit can just straight up just walk up and chop the whole thing down with like a lumber axe. So despite all these technological advancements that are made in this pathway and everything, if you want to cut down a tree, you still gotta literally just go do it by hand. Okay, that should be enough for now. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, right, the enchanting setup. I completely forgot about this. Did I do much of anything important with this? I mean, we're obviously going to bring it with us, but I kind of forgot about that. How does snow keep building up here? Is this snow, like, filtering down through the leaves and piling up on the ground? That's weird. Pulverizer. And we stick the logs in there. Wait, let's actually strip these down first, because I don't think the pulverizer cares about that. So that's just more fuel for other processes. And then we can stick those in here. And then nothing happens. Oh, we need power. That makes enough sense. I don't know what our situation is as far as power right now. Oh, we have a good amount sitting around. Okay. Just need to route to some of these things. Oh, wait, I completely took that section out of there. Oh, wait, just connect here. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Man, look at it go. That's actually probably going to be too much now that I look at it. That's like 10 boxes already. Alright, that works for me. Cardboard boxes! Package up all the things. No, no, no. Don't put that in there. I don't know what I'm doing with some of this stuff. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I was organized, and then I started reading all that stuff for the tech update, and then my head just started spinning, and now I don't know where I am. I need to ask Mintemi about what's going on with that update, because I don't think I understand what's happening. How does this make the process easier? It seems like it makes it way more complicated. Okay, so a bunch of the machines still need galvanized iron to be able to make, but there's still no simple way to make galvanized iron. I mean, I guess that works. The 2 iron, 1 zinc in the induction smelter, but like, why? There's this whole process to make this giant block of this stuff, but like, it doesn't interact with that at all. I don't know what's happening. Like, the boiler takes 4 whole ingots. It's all so expensive. Everything is expensive, and the machine that's supposed to be generating resources for me refuses to generate resources. I don't understand. My head kind of hurts, and I don't know what I should be working on. I don't know. Let's put this in here. See if anything interesting happens. I don't think it was doing anything particularly amazing. Yeah, mostly just making cobblestone. Chewing through our power that we have generated to make cobblestone, with the small chance of making something else. I guess if we had the, like, energy generation, it could just be doing that passively, because those blocks don't really have any other use. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff happening, and I don't understand most of it. Like, why am I even doing any of this at this point? It just feels like a bunch of extra steps to get back to where I already was. I don't understand. It's kind of funny that I can apparently hop sideways into just the tower and end up skipping Tinker's Construct. So I could just go into create, but that's not really what I want to be doing right now. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what it is that I want to be doing. I have a lot of stuff that I should be working on. But this new, like, wrinkle in the Hierophant pathway is very confusing to me. The electric quarry definitely seems like something nice to get, but the material cost is completely unreasonable. Nothing that we've done so far has generated resources along this level to justify that. Having to spend 16 emeralds, diamonds, what am I saying? 16 diamonds in order to get the materials to make the electric quarry is completely unreasonable. I think the quarries that we had have only gathered us like 3 diamonds in total. And that's supposed to be the thing doing all the hard work of gathering resources for us. I don't know. I think at this point I'm just confused as to what I should be doing, because all of this stuff doesn't make sense. I guess we can go backwards and work on some of these machines, but, like, I don't know, like, why am I doing it? We essentially are already past this point, because we had to do all this stuff the old-fashioned way before that was added. I have the High Priestess card. And literally, all that has changed is that I would have had to go through all this other stuff in order to get the High Priestess card. This isn't better. It's literally just more steps and more items that I would have had to have made. I am very confused. What else do we use this for? Okay, the galvanized iron block can be used to make a dense metal block. The dense metal block can be used to make this thing that I still can't pronounce. Actually, wait, no. Was that the one? No, that was the thing I couldn't pronounce. That's not much better. Almamigration? Sure. What is this used for? Specifically to make the High Priestess, and literally nothing else. Okay. That's even worse. That's kind of frustrating. This block only exists to make that one thing. Alright, why would I want to do that? Can use the sculpting tool on a dense metal block to make the macerator wheel, which you need 2 of in order to make the steam-powered crusher, which you use as the low-tech answer to the pulverizer, which would have been nice a long time ago, but now I don't know if that matters. Okay. What? I don't understand. Yeah, that sure is a bunch of extra stuff I have to do. But at the same time, I don't really understand why I would need to do any of this. I mean, I was right at the point where I was going to make the High Priestess card, and then I have to go backwards and do all this stuff and make a bunch of machines that are just worse versions of the machines that I already have now. Like, why would I want to spend all the time and resources to make the steam-powered crusher when I already have the pulverizer? And the description even says that the pulverizer is just better. Honestly, I don't know if I understand the point of going backwards and doing all this, because it just seems like stuff that I guess would have been good to have, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago before I got this stuff built, but now I already did all the hard work to get past that, so we're into the stuff over here now. I've got the fancier machines and everything. I put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get this stuff. Going backwards to make prerequisite machines that are expensive and don't help me anymore doesn't seem productive. Let's try looking forward. Let's see what stuff we can make that branches off of the progress we did make, because that seems like it'd be more helpful. Okay, so we had managed to make it to the point that we could make the thermal series machine frame as compared to the simple machine frame, which opens up all these other crazy things that we could make. So, what branches off of this? What is the phytogenic insulator? It can be used to artificially grow various plants and crops. Huh. Requires fertilizer for faster growth. Pairs nicely with the incubator, as Panvita can be used to produce phytogrow. Alright, we didn't make the incubator earlier, because that's way back over this way. Yeah, the berry incubator. Panvita is a universal plant able to be grafted to any other plant and adapt to its host. It is most often used by holders of the Hierophant card to grow more oreberry bushes, which do not reproduce naturally, requiring Panvita to be grafted to them. So that's how you get more oreberry bushes without having to cave to find them and pull them off the ceiling. Which is another way to generate more resources. But I think the problem with that... Iron, gold, copper, tin, aluminum, lead, nickel, uranium, osmium, zinc, silver. Yeah, I don't see diamond in there, so we'd still be having a lot of the same problems even if we were doing that. There's a bunch of other resources that we could make use of, which is nice. So we probably should make that, because that's just something else that we could be doing to get more resources. What do we need to do this? Alcad ingots, so we're going back to meteorite stuff again. Okay. One Alcad meteorite ingot plus white dye turns into 2 of those ingots, and we need a total of 6 to make that? Yeah, okay. Alright, so what's the best way at this point to make the meteorite ingots? I'm assuming it's going to use the induction smelter. Yeah, okay, so meteorite clump makes one of those, so we need 3 meteorite clumps and 3 zinc dust. We need to make the meteorite clumps. 2 meteorites, and then we can jam them into the multi-servo press with the packing die, which we don't have yet. Or we could use a concatenation hammer. What do we need to make the packing die? 2 Invar plates, 2 Constantan plates. That's a little annoying, but would probably be good to have in the long run. So we need 2 Invar ingots and 2 Constantan ingots. Okay, do we have those sitting around, or do I have to, like, put those together? There's 1 Invar ingot. I don't know what Constantan even looks like. We don't have any Constantan ingots. Okay, so that is nickel and copper. Oh, that might actually be the problem. I don't think we have any nickel laying around, do we? Sulfur. We have a tiny bit. I think that could be just enough. Yeah, there's 2 nickel ingots. Oh, it's also... What? What? Something's missing here, it looks like? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Definitely need to plant more of those nickel oreberry bushes, because we don't have that, and it's coming up on a lot of stuff now. Okay, so 1 nickel and 1 copper creates 2 Constantan. I think we actually only need 1 of those. A little overwhelmed still with all the stuff that's been going on. so that makes 2 Constantan ingots. We can take those and put them into the multi-servo press, and that'll make us 2 Constantan plates. Alright, so that's handled. Now we just need another Invar ingot, I think. Which is made with, oh gosh, more nickel and iron. Yeah, we definitely need to get the nickel ore berry bushes set up wherever we're going to do that. We definitely are going to need a lot of that now. Isn't that what it said? I thought that was what it said. Invar ingot. Nickel. Iron. Oh, 2 iron to 1 nickel. Okay, sorry. Missed that part. Alloying ratios are important. Okay, and that gets us 3 Invar ingots. We can take 2 of those and put them in the press. Put the spare Invar ingot back in here. We can take the 2 Constantan plates and the 2 Invar plates, combine those with a wood plank, I think it was. And that'll make us the 2x2 packing die. Which mostly just saves us having to use that hammer, but that's good because I am tired of the hammer. I don't remember which direction these were facing. Hopefully it doesn't matter. That's a 3x3. Interesting. Okay, so we got another mode unlocked for the multi-servo press. Okay, so now, I don't know what we have going on as far as, oh crap, did I pack up all the stuff with the meteorites? I think I might have. That's unfortunate. Maybe we'd go out and visit the Skystone again. Would not a bad idea considering we're getting ready to move. Alright, where the heck was that? Skystone. I guess as rough as a start as it was out here, we did do kind of okay as far as, like, some of the resources we started with. Like, having access to the Skystone has been really convenient. Just kind of sucks about all the rest of the stuff out here. And we've been in kind of a resource deficit ever since we started, but the combination of me wanting to cave rather than just, like, strip mining, combined with how expensive everything is in the pack is probably just the reason why I don't have enough resources. There's a bunny. How much Skystone is left? The regular pick is not enough. I didn't actually do that, but okay. Good job. Great work, team. We crafted a bow with perfect accuracy. Don't worry about the fact that we don't have proper access to Tinker's Construct and can't really make advanced tools or anything. The game says we made a good bow. Probably a good idea to gather up this stuff anyway. I remember when I came over here the first time, I was like, oh, I'll only take, like, the bits I need. But I think part of that was because I was expecting to come back over here all the time, and also we didn't have as much, like, infrastructure or storage space or anything like that. Oh, found the hole. Mm, some of these are still active, even though it's very slow. Yeah, I'll leave that more or less undisturbed. Also, I think I'm going to leave the ground level skystone. I know of one or two other places where I can gather more of this material, so. Plus, I'm sure there's a skystone or two over at the new place that we're headed. Somewhere. Okay, that should do. Oop. And now we can unequip the pickaxe that bites me every time I unequip it. Ow. Get rid of all these floating blocks because it looks silly. Isn't permafrost a gravity block? Shouldn't that have fallen? I don't think this thing knows what's going on. Whatever. Okay, that's... should be good enough. Let's head back. Okay, so we need to use the Hierophant card along with that Skystone in order to turn it into compacted Skystone, which we can then turn into meteorites. And then we do something. I don't remember the rest of the process. It's a lot of steps. Okay. Where is my tarot? There it is. Okay, so stick this in the middle. So like that. Boom. Okay. And then the compacted skystone. We take a stick into the blast furnace specifically. And it turns into meteorites. Okay. So there's that. We take the meteorite chunks and put those into the multi-servo press to get meteorite clumps. So many steps. Meteorite clumps get put into the induction smelter along with zinc. Zinc powder, specifically. Or zinc dust. Was it zinc dust? Zinc dust, yeah. Which we're going to need to make more of that. How does that process work? Pulverizer? Yeah, okay. Dirty zinc dust. That's like crushing wheel stuff. We don't really have access to that whole situation. Oh, we could actually do that with the raw, like, ore and the pulverizer, but we don't have a silk touch set up yet, so it's something else we don't have access to. That I'm not sure how we're going to get access to. Hierophant doesn't seem to have a way to get that without just doing it the old, the vanilla way and just getting an enchanted book. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess we're just continuing to feed that in there. And then we pulverize a couple more zinc. And then I think we're okay. There's still a lot, and my brain's still not handling all this that well. Okay, so we take the zinc ingots. Oh hey, we actually got diamond dust out of this. Holy crap. Miracles can happen. On that note, we need to get this stuff out of here because we need to do something different. Okay, stick the zinc in the pulverizer real quick, and we can put the compacted marble right back in. Go. Turn that into zinc dust. And put that back in there, and good luck to you. How do we turn the diamond dust into diamond? Of course we can melt it using Tinker's Construct. That's not really the point. Use it to make Inderium. Not really sure what that's for yet. Use the blast chiller and some other stuff that I don't know what it is, and use that to make a diamond gear. Crystallizer. Water, diamond dust, and it makes it back into a diamond. How do we make the crystallizer? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Okay, we'll figure out the diamond dust situation at some other point. Where are we on this whole thing? Okay, take the zinc dust. Put it in here. No, not like that. Like that. There we go. Okay, and then we have material to do more of this in the future, which is good. Okay, so we take that, put that there. I don't even remember what we need this for at this point. I know it's important, but it's completely slipped my mind. Grab bone, mush the bone down into bone meal, turn the bone meal into white dye, combine the white dye with the meteorite ingots to make white alcad ingots. Okay, now we have 6 of those. What was I using these for? Right. Glass and a grass block. I don't know how we're going to get the grass block. Thought I had a setup for that a while ago. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we used create to fix that problem before because I was trying to put grass blocks into our like barn setup. I don't know. I don't think we ended up with any left over, which is unfortunate. Okay. Are there any other ways we could get a grass block? Mixing tool, which I'm sure will take a diamond somehow. Much looks like the simplest way is just to use the filling spout, which I'm pretty sure is how I had it set up before. It's one of those things you take for granted, I think. The random grass block dropped by an enderman at some point. Only in modded Minecraft does that suddenly become a precious resource that you can't afford to lose. Alright, let me see what this is, because I'm sure I need to look at this and get upset. Yep, there it is. Diamond shovel to make the mixing tool. I don't remember if we even have one of those. I think we had the cutting tool. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, so we need a grass block. And I don't know exactly what we're going to do to get one. Hello? Skeletons outside are probably burning up with the sunlight, now that I think about it. Where did I put that other create stuff? Spout? No pump. pump, I guess. Depot. Just gonna sit some of this mess on top of all the other stuff we have going on, I guess. Pretty sure that's how we did it before. I don't know. Why would you do that? There. Not real sure why that was there anyway. I think it was part of the wall originally, but all the modifications we made, it's a different state now. Okay. There's a pump. Okay, so none of the gears are down low enough to make this simple. And there's not really any room where all this stuff is to... oh, wait. What if we come over here? I forgot where it even is. I don't know if that's actually going to make it any simpler now that I think about it. This is taking more brain power than I'd like. I don't know. We stick this someplace. Doesn't like that. Needs to be attached to a small gear, maybe? It's not the right direction. See, now the stuff is just being combative on purpose. There, okay. Which presumably then means we could put this up here, and it's too close to... Alright, back up a step. What about here? No, not like that. So close. It's like it's being combative on purpose now. There. Which then means we could put the spout there. And then put the depot right there. Okay, because I think that's how that's supposed to work. Then we could attach a dirt block, or put a dirt block in the depot. And we need like a tank or a drain, but I don't think we have a drain out in the world at this point. I think there's one that's packed up, but that's not very helpful right now. Alright, what's it take to make the drain? Oh, wait, that's really easy. Iron bars, copper casing. So that's like a log, a piece of copper, and an iron bar. Where are the logs? You used them all, of course. Ah, yes, how careless of me. Starting to get a bit unhinged and starting to not care about some of the stuff that I usually would. That can just stay like that for now. piece of copper. Iron bar. Do we have iron bars? Hopefully we have iron bars. Where would they be? There's some. Okay, cool. See, this is why. This right here. This is why I keep collecting weird items. The heck do you need iron bars for normally? Nothing. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, need some to make a item or a liquid drain. Ah. Why would you do that? You know what? This is a mess. It's only temporary. No! Why would you... Okay. Never mind. Being difficult about this. There. Okay. Put liquid in to the drain. The pump will pull it out of the drain into the spout. The spout will apply it to whatever we throw onto the depot. So many steps for every single one of these things I'm trying to do. Okay, take the piece of dirt, put it there. Get our bucket. Go outside and grab some water. Close, please. Thank you. Okay. Our water. So many steps. Okay. We take the bucket of water. We throw the bucket of water onto the item drain. And with any luck... Look at that! Okay. We have our grass block. What a nightmare. We have glass. I don't know if we have glass. Do we need to make glass? Do I have some hidden someplace? I don't know. There's sand. I could swear we had sand. That I remembered seeing some somewhere. There's some. Can't just make glass in the induction smelter, apparently. Can with the redstone furnace, but that's whatever. That's more work than I feel like putting in. Oh, there's some. Cool. There we go. Goes like that. We're getting there. I don't know why I feel so tired. Please don't have that selected. I will find a way to place the glass and then be very sad. Berry incubator! Okay. How do we even use this thing? Panvita grows via the berry incubator. Fill the incubator with water. May take multiple days of growing. Okay. So, that is the thing. We're not going to mess with that right now. Or, I don't know, maybe we'll just set it someplace. I don't know if it needs power to run or anything. We still have a bunch of other stuff going on. I guess we just have this thing sit here. So I guess you just put water in it, and then over the course of X number of days, it just creates the plant. Not certain. Haven't really messed with that. Oops. This could be a learning experience. Alright. Put water in. Should probably grab some more. I don't know how much water it needs. Considering it holds 4 buckets, we'll just give it 4 buckets. No. Almost ruined our endless water source there. One more. Okay, so with this... Okay. Does this have like a UI? Nope. Just kind of stare at it and hope things happen. Okay, what else were we doing? I don't remember at this point. Oh, yeah, the whole thing with the vitogenic insulator. Used to artificially grow various plants and crops. This panvita can be used to produce phytogrow, which is just fuel to help it run faster, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we can combine apatite dust and panvita to create a lot of phytogrow at once. Alternatively, we can mix apatite, niter, bone meal, and sand to make it. Okay, yeah, but looking at that, yeah, that's probably the most efficient way to make it. What exactly will we be able to make if we built the phytogenic insulator? 53 pages of stuff. Oh, okay. Looks like it's just kind of duplicate plant. Also cool. Oh, interesting. Duplicate just crop in general? That's kind of handy. Just kind of stick a plant in there and get another of the plant. And then phytogrow and other fertilizer stuff can be used to speed up the process. But yeah, it looks like it's kind of just like whatever, like, plant deal that we need more of, we can just kind of get that way. Corn, onions, vines, eggplant, flowers, coral for whatever reason. Oh, it works with saplings. That's actually really convenient. We could turn like a green heart sapling into maybe just wood? I'm not sure how this works. It looks like maybe there's only a 10% chance you get the sapling back? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have to try that with something we don't only have one of currently. Yeah, we'll try it with like a different tree sapling and see what happens if we make it. That is potentially very, very useful. Okay, good to know. A lot of stuff. Butternut squash. Strawberry. Yeah, so just whatever plant thing that we need more of, we could just create that way. Wow, even chorus fruit. Okay, so that's one option. Which is still kind of material intensive, but I think all of these things are. But assuming nothing gets blown up by a creeper, we only need to build any one of these machines one time, and then we get to use it as much as we want for the rest of forever. I don't know what exactly the point of the crafter is. Can handle up to 2 recipes at once and allows recipes to use the crafting results of previous steps. I guess it's just for automating crafting processes. Magma Crucible. Used to melt solid blocks into their liquid form, such as redstone blocks or glowstone blocks. I'm not completely sure why we would need that, but it sounds useful. Redstone flux cell requires the dissolution chamber. Liquid destabilized redstone, molten by use of a magma crucible. Okay, sure. We don't have a dissolution chamber yet. Is that like one of the other steps here? Feels like it should be there someplace. Oh, it's like way over here. Plastic. Dissolution chamber is a more advanced crafting machine, making combined use of materials, liquid, and RF power to manufacture complex items. Where exactly are we getting latex? Latex processing unit. First, need a fluid extractor. What is a fluid extractor? Is that another machine we don't have yet? Oh, yeah, there we go. Fluid extractor. Produces liquid latex from logs. Place a log in front of the fluid extractor and begin the process. Powering the fluid extractor can speed up the process, as you will need 1,000 millibuckets of latex to make plastic. So it doesn't need power to run, but power makes it go faster. Okay. Amount of latex extracted depends on the log type. Of the basic logs, acacia is the most efficient. But I guess rubber wood. Wait. Why is acacia the most efficient if those others produce like 3 or 4 times as much? What is a compacted log? Instead of turning into a stripped log after running out of latex, it reverts to compacted wood. Huh. Okay, so I guess it turns into a stripped log when it's used up. Which raises some other questions with some of the mods we have, but okay, whatever. So fluid extractor can gather latex from wood. The latex processing unit can take the liquid latex, I guess, and then process that into latex, I guess. Ah, it turns it into rubber. Right, okay. Which then can be used to make plastic via smelting. The plastic can be used for whatever we use plastic for. Making the dissolution chamber, among other things. A bunch of other advanced machines, it looks like. I'm assuming that's sower and not sewer. But who knows? Sewage composter. No, maybe it is sewer. Ooh. This is a lot of machines. This is a lot of machines. Mob slaughter factory. Make all kinds of crazy stuff with plastic, apparently. Animal feeder. Mob crusher? Okay. Hydroponic bed. Mob duplicator? Wither Builder. That's seems irresponsible. Pity black hole unit. I don't understand, but okay. Simple black hole unit can hold 524,288 items. Okay, well then. Advanced black hole unit can hold 67 million items. It just keeps going. There's a lot of stuff. Most of which I don't know what we need it for. But it's there. Mob Slaughter Factory can be used to produce liquid meat, or more importantly, pink slime, which is used in the manufacturing of higher quality machine casings. To obtain pink slime, activate the Mob Slaughter Factory with a mob in front, which will be instantly slaughtered and turned into slime. Neat? Sounds horrifying. Infinity Charger. Made to charge the various Infinity grade items. These tools and weapons can supercharge their performance with RF power, scaling with the amount they have stored and thus can release. Okay, that is way the heck down this, like, path we're going down. It's a lot. Plant gatherer. No information. No information given. Didn't we get a guidebook about industrial foregoing stuff? I think we did. Okay, so this will explain some of that stuff. Industrial foregoing. If you need to automate all the things. Okay, yeah, so this is talking about all the stuff that we're getting into, which is good because it's a lot, and it's a lot to think about. Mob duplicator. Machine used to spawn mobs. Provided with power, essence, and any entity in a mob imprisonment tool, it will spawn them around it. So it's a synthetic mob spawner. That's crazy. Okay. Mob imprisonment tool. Gas tier and plastic. Legally distinct Pokeball. Right-click the entity, and it will be stored inside of that. You can release the entity by right-clicking it. It doesn't mention if it's consumed when you do that. But with those two things together, that basically means any mob we encounter, we could essentially just create a spawner for, regardless of what weird thing it is. So we could make, I don't know, a Nightmare Stalker spawn farm, and then kill them and turn them into slime, or whatever the heck we're doing. Mob Crusher. A machine used to kill mobs as if a player would, producing drops and essence. Drops are directly created from the mob loot pool. So we could have a mob duplicator and mob crusher set up, and then spawn powerful mobs and then kill them. Machine has an alternate mode where instead of generating essence, it will generate drops with random levels of fortune. But yeah, I think mob essence is what's used to set up the duplicator. Oh, no, essence is a separate thing. Fluid form of experience produced by the mob crusher. Huh, so it takes experience in order to spawn mobs? How does that work? Wait, so the setup kind of powers itself? Because the mob crusher produces essence. And then you feed the essence into the mob duplicator to spawn more mobs. Okay. I don't know how you get that process started, but maybe bring mobs in from somewhere else. Mob Slaughter Factory. Right, that's the one that makes the meat and slime and all that. Oh, that does not produce drops or experience. Okay. Because the output is the liquid meat and pink slime. Passive mobs produce more pink slime than non-passive ones. Yeah, okay. So it's kind of implied to be used for, like, livestock. Bucket of meat. Yummy. Sewer. Collect sewage from animals and experience to turn it into essence. Okay. Sewage. Bucket. The fluid produced by the sewer. You don't want to know about it. Fair enough. But that is another way that you could get essence. Okay, so it's a whole interconnected system that allows us to turn mobs, items, and experience and whatnot into other mobs, I guess. So we could take stuff from like a chicken farm as an example, and then use that to power a mob spawner that's creating mob drops for us. Animal baby separator. Machine used to separate baby animals from adult animals. Baby animals will be teleported to the back of the machine. Oh, okay, so it basically just moves baby animals, like, out of whatever enclosure you have the adult animals in. Hydroponic bed. Machine, when combined with power and water or lava for another drops, will speed up crop growth a bit. Okay. Again, this is a lot. Ooh, generators. Pitiful generator. Inefficient generator that consumes burnable fuels like coal. Okay, this feels like it's overlapping with some of the other stuff that we have, so we might not need to worry about that. Mycelial generator. How does that work? What? Just having multiple mycelial reactors like that exist will generate more Fe? Again, I don't understand how that works. And it doesn't explain it. Biofuel generator. It's biofuel to generate RF. Okay, sure. Biofuel. Ooh. Bioreactor. There's a lot of tech stuff. Tools. Mob imprisonment tool. Meat feeder. When in your inventory, the meat feeder will feed you with the liquid meat stored inside the tool. Ew. Ew. Infinity tools. Infinity tools follow a simple principle. The more power they have, the better they are. Increasing the tier might give the tools special perks. Having biofuel in them will make them more efficient by consuming the fuel instead of power. There are 7 tiers. Poor, uncommon, poor, common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, artifact. So we're running off of World of Warcraft rules, apparently. All 8 tools will teleport the drops to the player. Wow. You can get a special shiny version of the tool by becoming a patron. Infinity backpack. It has a bunch of extra features. Does a bunch of stuff. Infinity drill. Allows you to mine big areas. The bigger the tier, the bigger the area. Hammer. Does AoE damage? Interesting. Gives you access to different levels of beheading. Okay. Shatter effect? Infinity Launcher. Allows you to capture or release entities from a mob imprisonment tool at range. Interesting. Just shoot mobs at stuff. Oh, it's like the vacuum and slime rancher. You just suck up mobs and then shoot them out someplace else. Infinity Nuke. That doesn't seem a good idea at all. Tool of mass destruction, where the explosion radius will increase based on the tier and the amount of biofuel in it. The nuke won't destroy things in claimed chunks. To make it explode, you need to place it on the ground, right-click to arm it, and right-click with flint and steel to make it explode. Yay! Infinity Saw. Hey, there's something that loves cut down trees. I don't know why it's this far into progression. Infinity Trident. Increasing the tier will give you access to different levels of loyalty, riptide, and channeling. Channeling and hit damage will be applied in AoE. Wow. Transport. Oh, transport of items, it looks like. Yeah. Not transport of people, transport of items. Resource production, that's a lot. Potion brewer. Sludge refiner. When it's applied with sludge obtained from the plant gatherer, it will generate something. Ominous and not terribly helpful. Water condensator. What? So it just generates water from essentially an already existing infinite water source? I guess that's a way to pump water into your machinery, like, by using a small, like, water source. I guess that's helpful. If whatever you're doing takes that much water to run. Laser drill. This machine, when provided with power, charges the first ore laser base and fluid laser base it finds in its working area. I don't know what that means. Oh, when fully charged with a laser drill, it will produce ores. Each ore has that can be produced has a weight based in the biome the machine is placed and the depth the machine is configured to mine in. Laser lenses increase the weight of a produced ore. Check JEI for values. Okay, so produce ore is an interesting way of wording that. That seems to imply it's not actually, like, breaking blocks in the world. It just sort of starts making materials somehow. That's kind of wacky. Sounds useful, though. How far off are we from being able to make this? Diamond gears are still completely unreasonable. Advanced machine frame is a little bit beyond where we are. So many diamonds, but theoretically it could refund itself, like, pretty easily. Because it could find more diamonds for us. But you need the laser drill. What's the difference between a laser base and a fluid laser base? When fully charged with a laser drill, it will fluids. What? I don't think that's proper English. What are you trying to say? To do it will need a specific catalyst. What? Who wrote this guidebook? It won't be consumed, the machine will need to place to a specific biome. Only at a specific depth. Some fluids. So it gets you liquids based on where you are. So water, lava, I don't know what else. This is a lot of stuff and my head hurts. A lot of machines. Some fluids might need an entity under the machine to produce the fluid. washing factory. Using liquid meat and an ore. The machine will turn that meat into raw ore meat of that ore. Excuse me? Did you just say ore meat? Fermentation station. Using raw ore meat, this machine will seal its contents when reaching the configured level and will ferment that meat using the selected production type. What are we getting into? What is this mod? Fluid sieving machine. Using fermented ore meat and sand, this machine will turn that meat into dust from the ore that it was first created. Why did meat get involved in this production process? I don't understand. Random stuff. Enchantment factory. This machine, when provided with large amounts of essence and an item, will enchant the item with a level of 30, which is twice what you would be able to have in vanilla Minecraft. Enchantment sorter. This machine will sort items that are enchanted from ones that aren't. Why would you ever need that? Enchantment applicator. Machine functions the same way as an anvil, but instead of experience, it uses essence, which is just liquid experience, basically. Infinity charger. Oh, right, that's what you use to charge the infinity tools. Stasis chamber. When provided with power, this machine will freeze and heal any entity in its working area. That's, again, questionable English, but I assume this is so that you could continually do something to a mob without it dying. I'm not sure what you would need that for, but I'm sure someone has some crazy thing they could do with it. Mob detector will detect how many entities are in front of it and emit a redstone signal with the same strength as the amount of entities detected. So yeah, a bunch of mob automation stuff. The idea of a machine that just creates enchantments with no rhyme or reason seems really kind of insane to me. I don't know why I would want to do that. Okay, so this mod that we're venturing into going along this path is kind of unhinged, and I don't know what to think about some of it. So we can't go any further into that stuff for where we need the advanced machine frame without making a dissolution chamber. And the dissolution chamber needs all kinds of crazy stuff to make an advanced machine frame. The dissolution chamber itself actually isn't that bad looking at it. The machine frame is, I think, the most difficult part. We need plastic, which means we need to go through the whole latex song and dance. Not doing it that way. I guess getting the blast chiller so that we can turn diamond dust into diamond gears is not a bad idea. I don't know how we get mineral resin. No, that's a whole other process. Crystallized mineral chunk. Block of crystallized mineral. I don't know where these things are coming from. Oh! You need the mechanical squeezer, and then you could turn planks and logs from the mineral tree into those things. And the mechanical squeezer takes a whole bunch of other crazy junk we don't have. So many sub-machine components and, like, separate steps to do any of this stuff. Where are we even headed? Where is this going? Okay, advanced machine frame gets access to all the stuff beyond this point. Like, what are we getting? Oh! Right. Because at that point, you could just say, screw the quarry, just get the digital miner, and just create ores from literally nothing. Although, I'm pretty sure the laser drill said it was doing that anyway, so I don't know. Maybe the laser miner is just way more effective at it. That's starting to get into mechanism devices. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that must be what's going on here. So Hand of Pentacles is the card that lets you progress further this way. A branch under the High Priestess pathway, delving more intensely into high-tech mechanism, automation, refinement, and power armor. Oh boy. Laser diode. Okay, so I think what basically is happening is you get to this point and then you change over from industrial foregoing into mechanism. But industrial foregoing is set up as a prerequisite. Which means we gotta go through this whole song and dance to get there. But it does sound like there's some neat things to get in the process. I'm just not sure what to make of some of this. Resourceful furnace. Can process 3 items at once and outputs liquid experience. Still not sure what exactly we're supposed to do with the magma crucible, because it can melt things down and make like liquid ores and other stuff like that, but as far as I know, we can't do any processing with liquid ores currently. Interesting. Hold on a sec. Oh, that takes so much energy to do. Hold on. If we have enough energy, we could just straight up turn cobblestone into more lava. That's kind of awesome, but it takes a lot of power to do. Down ores and other materials. So the magma crucible does seem like a useful thing to have, but I don't know what we're doing with the liquid materials, though. Oh, the blast chiller accepts casts, so we can kinda sorta do some like shaping stuff with that. Gear cast means we can make all kinds of stuff that way. So that's probably a more efficient way of doing that compared to the way we're doing it currently, I'm assuming. Okay, so I guess you superheat the metals to get a molten form and then put them into the blast chiller, which effectively works like casting, basically. So we can do that to make ingots, rods for whatever those are used for. I'm not really sure. What the heck is an ice charge? Apparently, if we use water in an ice charge, we can create a mineral sapling, which is how we get some of that other stuff that we need. So that may be something to look into. And it needs blizz powder, which is from those stupid ice guys that keep showing up. Okay, that step is easy enough. More efficient if you crush them, but we don't have a crushing wheel set up. It's still a lot. Alright, let's look up thermal processing and see what we can find. Oh, those are all the casts? Just like plate, gear, rod? That's it? Wait, where's... Ingot's not even on there. Oh, wait, that's from a different mod. Okay. That's from just thermal series. Okay, what if we just search thermal and then cast? Oh, there we go. Hold on. Okay, maybe now this is the point where we start getting into stuff that's at least similar to what Tinker's Construct was doing, because this looks similar. So we've got plates, gears, ball. Why would we need a ball of, like, molten metal? Ingot, rods, gems, gear, coin, wire. Yeah, this is looking an awful lot like Tinker's Construct stuff now. Pick head, axe head, small blade, adze head. Yeah, this is like right into Tinker's Construct type stuff. Except I don't know what we use to assemble these, because we're not technically supposed to have access to the Tinker's Construct, like, tool making thing. So... Oh, yeah, and it just straight up says, oh, yeah, then you just pour stuff in and you do that. Okay, but then how do we assemble it? Is there, like... Does thermal processing or whatever have some sort of, like, tool workbench we can use? That's not what that's for. That's for charging stuff. There's got to be some sort of workbench that lets us use this. Also, does the freaking thermal stuff... Oh, wait, no. The Thermopedia. We have a book on that. Where is it? Okay. Hopefully this will tell me something. I don't know if this has everything we need in it. Devices? Igneous extruder. Generate infinite stone. Hey! Not what we're looking for currently, but... Nullifier... Vital soil infuser... Vacuumulator? Props to whoever combined those words together. That's just really impressive. Sucks up XP orbs? Oh, and items. Okay. Tinker's Workbench. Charge, fill, and apply augments to tools and blocks. Yeah, okay. But, like, this seems to be implying that we're on the cusp of being able to make equipment like you would with Tinker's Construct, but I don't know how we do it. Equipment? No, these are all, like, specific things. I don't know where we go with this. We're theoretically getting to the point that we can cast, like, materials and parts and stuff, but I don't know what we do with them after we do that. We're still not allowed to make anything involving the casting table, because we can't make seared bricks. We're not allowed to. Hermit card is at the base of all of those things. So, like, where does this go? I don't understand. Where is the blast chiller in all this? Is it not even, like, on the quest thing? Blast chiller. Used to cool various liquids. That's not helpful. Gemstone gears. Okay. Yeah, so we can use the blast chiller to make gemstone gears. Okay, great. But we could also use it to make, like, equipment parts, but I don't understand what we're supposed to do to assemble said parts. Kind of seems like something's missing. Might actually kind of be able to get away with some stuff we aren't necessarily supposed to doing that. Hold on a second, let me see something. The Tinker's Anvil does not require the Hermit card. Interesting. We might have a solution here. Oh, wait, no. All of these take seared blocks, so we can't make it anyway. There's some sort of workaround we could do. I don't think there is. If there's any other way to get seared stone. We can't do entity melting because that takes an entire smeltery. Okay, without venturing into like a whole other tarot card, I don't know what the purpose of us making those parts is. Very confused by all of this. There doesn't seem to be any way through the process of getting access to seared stone. Yeah, I don't understand why we even have the capability to do that. Honestly, very strange. So we've gotten massively sidetracked at this point. Interesting. Grow spores that can be turned into redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, or slime. Wow. That's pretty wild, actually. Okay, I don't understand what's going on with this whole thing. I guess I'll have to just ask some questions later, because this is very confusing. Where is this stuff even going? Justice does not give us a description of what it's actually up to. RF tools. I'm assuming we're just doing completely out of control busted stuff by that point. Oh, right, yeah, RF tools starts getting into like creating your own dimensions and crazy things like that. I forgot that that's how that works. Yeah, RF tools starts getting into like dimension creation and crazy stuff like that. Which I guess would technically fix some of our problems, but like I have no idea how we're going to get all the way over to that point before this. There's so many just crazy things that I don't know how we're gonna be able to do before that point. I don't know. This whole thing is kind of wacky at this point. I don't really know what's going on. Are all those things required? Well, a couple of them are. So many machines. So many machine frames that are going to need to be made. Oh yeah, that's not up for debate. It's just that machine frame or nothing. So I guess we're going to have to start learning how to make signalum? Signalum? Mix of silver, copper, and redstone. That's expensive. I forget, did we find silver ore berry bushes? I don't think we did. Are there silver ore berry bushes? Because I don't remember. Yes, there are. We just haven't found them. Okay, so that's something to look for eventually. Yeah, what do we do? So, like, just mixed up at this point. Jeez. All of these machines need the, like, proper machine frame, which is all super advanced stuff. Okay, I was gonna say which one of these is the most important, but it looks like we're gonna need all of them eventually. Which is just a lot of machines that need building. I can't believe we have to use silver to make that. That hurts. But was that one of the things that came out of... It is. That is one of the things that can come out of the compacted marble. It's only like a 1% chance, but... Right, I forgot we left that there. That actually went through that whole thing. We are getting silver from that. Little tiny bits at a time. Wondrous. Alright, I could probably take down this contraption at this point. Whew, what a trip that whole thing was. Alright, where did this stuff go before? I think it was in here? Yeah. Okay. Just stick the silver dust into the induction smelter and get an ingot back. Oh! We got our pen Vita. Yay! The system works. And that actually only used 1 millibucket. We have the miracle plant. The system works. Because now we can use this somewhere. I don't know how this works exactly. Oh, you can literally just combine it by hand in your inventory with plant to get more plant instantly. Mushroom, Panvita, more mushrooms. Or torch flowers, wow. You could turn it into 64 bone meal if you feel so inclined. You could do crazy things like duplicate golden moss clumps, wow. Oh, right, and then the important thing is that you can use them to make more oreberry bushes. That's the big thing. That's growing really fast. Saki Jockey, welcome to the stream. I really hope I'm not using motion controls to play Minecraft. That sounds like suffering, honestly. Strawberry bush. I don't know how to make essence berries. Or essence berry bushes. I guess you already need to have one? That's strange. Because you can combine it with experience orbs to get more. You can combine it with Panvita to get more. But there doesn't seem to be a way to just create one. So I guess you just have to find an essence berry bush somewhere. It's actually going fairly quickly now that it's like up and running. That's convenient. Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess we need to make stuff out of signalum now? I don't know. Something, something, machine frame, something, something. I'm not sure where we are with all of this, honestly. Oh, it's already 6 o'clock. Okay, let's do something... Let's do something exciting and fun. Well, not exciting, but... Well, no, I guess it's a little exciting. Let's take some of our boxes. I think we're going to load them up. Oh, we actually didn't even need to melt it down. We could just stuck the dust in there. Okay, 3 copper, 4 redstone. Don't have a lot of redstone left. But it's only 1 silver, right? Yeah, okay. Oof, that is energy intensive. Cut power to the pulverizer for a bit. Look at this! Another diamond dust. Another silver dust. Yeah, ran out of juice. Wait, what? How is it not getting power? This... Oh! It's literally disconnected. That kind of makes sense. This gear monster is so out of control. Wait. He's not even connected to anything anymore. We gotta pack that up. This isn't even doing anything now. because I was running to the other parts of the factory, but none of that stuff is here, so none of that is needed at this point. Because I was connected to the stuff upstairs, and, like, the machines we had here, but all that stuff is gone, so there's no reason for that to be plugged up. Okay, let's put all of that away, and just not think about that for a little bit. And then we should be able to get back here and fix the problem that I was trying to get to. There we go. Because, yeah, we just weren't routing power to this smelter at all. We still don't have a ton of energy at this point, but... it's doing the thing, and we're getting some juice in there. There we have an entirely new type of ore. Or, not ore, but ingots. There was a quest for signalum ingot somewhere? Do we have access to that quest? We do, actually. And it gives us a couple more signalum ingots. Nice. Hey! Look at that. Okay, that'll get us going on this whole process, I guess. Oh, right, this side area over here is all, like, augments for the different machines and everything. Okay, so we have some signalum. We can use that to get started on some more equipment. Or machines, rather. Also use it to start making things like nicer solar panels. Using High Priestess to create the Hierophant card. Oh, I guess that's for if you're coming from Hermit. You can use that to go that way. I don't know what most of this is for. Signal coil. That sounds a little... Use the multi-servo press on a copper lead coil. Okay, I guess. 4 copper and more redstone, right. 4 copper, 2 lead, and a redstone. Okay. That makes one of those. And then I stick that into the, like, die slot. We need to crush down the signalum. A couple of times, apparently. Okay, so we take one of these. Head over. Take that out. What's in here? Squish that down from an ingot down to a plate. Take the plate and stick it in the pulverizer, which is run out of power because it sucked up all the energy we had. That's not the wrench. Yep, we run out of use. Actually, on that note, do have some stuff we should be doing regarding that. Take the tree oil out of here and feed it into the compression dynamo. And let's get some power again. That was the point of this whole thing. Alright, the machines are running again. Too much stuff in my inventory. Okay, let's stop that real quick. We are getting silver out of that at a pretty good rate. I appreciate that. Stick that in there. It destroyed it. It didn't output anything. It's a 50% chance. Oh, this is fun. Dealing with limited resources, and then some of the stuff can just delete our item and give nothing back. What fun. Not that. We got a catalyst in there. I don't know how much that helps. Hopefully enough. Yay! Okay. We got one. And then we... stick that back in the multi-servo press. There we go. Okay. So many steps. So many steps to these processes. Okay, and we're going to need that for a bunch of stuff. But, I mean, machine frames mainly. And we're going to need a lot of machine frames. Okay, I wonder if we can skip around in this stuff at all. Like, can we get that, like, laser drill thing going early? Oh, yeah, in theory. Oh, we'd need plastic, though. Which means we need at least 2 machine frames before that point. Because we need the 2 parts to make latex and plastic. So maybe we're not skipping that far ahead after all. Because that's latex processing, fluid extractor to get plastic, and the laser drill is here again? I don't even see it. Generates power from blaze rods. Oh, there's a laser drill. Interesting that it branches off of the advanced power frame quest, even though it doesn't take an advanced power frame to make. Oh, the laser base does. Okay. Or just a block of steel, which honestly seems easier. Then you need laser diode, and that's even more stuff. Oh gosh. Where are we going with all of this? What's happening? guess we just start working on the latex processing unit and the fluid extractor. I did want to go out to the new base, but I guess we still have work to do here. Let's see. We don't even have lumium yet. How do we even get that? Oh, look! More things that want silver from us. 3 tin, 2 glowstone dust. Interesting. Where is any of that stuff? Eyes are not focused. Help. There we go. Remember how much it said. Do we have any loose glowstone anywhere? Yes. Put those things next to each other. Really should probably sort this box. Okay. Lumium. Lumium. Alright, so 3 tin, 1 silver, 2 glowstone. I am glad that the silver dust is coming in clutch here. So the stuff we got from mining in Dis was not a complete bust. There we go. Lumium ingots. Which, we needed lumium gears, right? I think that was where we were. Yeah, lumium gear. The most efficient way to make that would be... well, probably the blast killer, but we don't have one of those yet. Something else to look at. So for now, I think we have to feed all 4 of those into the gear press. Or the gear die on the multi-servo press. But later we can do that even more efficiently and save ourselves some materials. Alright, lumium gear. I think we need some steel plates, I think it was saying also. Four steel plates, that coil, 2 signal, and a circuit, which I don't know if we have the stuff to make right now. Really wish I knew which of these containers I was supposed to be looking for stuff in. Let's take a guess. We have some extra cardboard, so this isn't the end of the world. Alright, big money, no whammies. Wait, how does that work? What? How do I get it out? Might have discovered a bit of an issue. I can put things in the cardboard box, but I don't know how to get them back out. Alright, internet, help me out. How do I use it? There we go. You get the box back. Oh, that changes almost everything. That was not the right one. Okay, the fact that it doesn't consume them, though, holy cow, that is a game changer. Okay, let's just keep looking through these till we find the right one, then. Darn it. The fact that they're reusable is incredible. There we go. I forgot what I even needed out of here. Oh, I was looking for stuff for the circuits, which it looks like we don't have any in here anyway. This is all the A2 stuff. That's wild. I did not know the cardboard boxes, like, drop themselves when you take this stuff out. Incredible. I don't know why I keep ending up with that one over and over again. It's even more broken than I thought it was. Nope. There's all our create stuff. I guess I can consolidate that now. At least some of it. But actually, that means I have a different problem, because I don't know what else we need to make a circuit. What are our options when it comes to that? Machine frame. Higher tier circuits. So the mechanism circuits or the concatenation standard circuit. Okay, we can just do this one. So electrum wire, rose gold, and iron. Let's take redstone out of there. I feel like those boxes should be combined somehow, but I don't know how much of that stuff would actually mix together. That doesn't fit in there. Yeah, this feels like moving. Yeah, okay. Okay, it has been a confusing, disorganized mess of a stream, honestly. But I guess we're just kind of in that point, like with the playthrough. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, electrum wire. What's our easier way to get that? I guess just make an electrum plate and smush it. Do we have electrum sitting around? We have a little bit. Guess we'll just take that and stick it into the press. And then we need to figure out where our hammer is. work. Okay, so we take this, put it on the cutting board. Not that. Very funny. There we go. Okay, there's our wire. Wait, is that right? Nope. Got 3 iron. Go over here. Oops. Oh, no, if we're doing the rose gold one, it goes the other way. Wait, hang on. What? Oh, that's why. Only takes 1 sticky redstone. Then 2 rose gold, which I'm assuming we don't have any of. Yeah. Rose gold is copper and gold, I think. Why... Is that not the right ingot? We can't use that recipe, can we? It looks like rose gold is... Oh, wait, no, there we go, there we go. Yeah, copper and gold. Yeah, okay, so I was just looking at the wrong ingot. Okay, these are those. There we go. There we are. Okay. Add that to this. Oop, not that. And that should give us our circuit. There we go. Okay, cool. What else are we missing here? Steel, I think. Specifically. So we'll take the steel and put it in the press. At least some of this stuff is straightforward. Some of it's a confusing mess. I am excited that I found out about the cardboard boxes, so that's kind of neat. We can't get out. We need anything else from out of here right now? Probably not. Do still kind of wish that we could fit all that stuff in one chest, but I don't think that's going to happen. No, not that. Actually, we should probably get this slightly more organized. If we take some of the strange matter stuff out of here, we could fit more of the applied energetic stuff in there. It's still not all going to fit, but at least be slightly less disorganized. Still more of this stuff than I can really fit in there. But I think it's like I was saying before, it's fine as long as it all ends up in the same place. Those guys should be done. There we go. And we add those to the corners evenly. There we go. There's our machine frame. No quest for that? Oh, we already had it. Okay, now which of the machines do we choose? Where do any of these spores come from? You just kind of manufacture it? Huh. I don't know, we're getting bottles of enchanting. Specifically bottles of enchanting, not like one of the experience orbs or any of that other stuff either. I guess we only have to do it once, though. Because then after that, we just duplicate it using the machine. Do we have a bottle of enchanting somewhere? I don't think we do, but it's also not something I would have really been thinking about. This little plant setup is making me happy, though. We don't really have a proper use for it yet, but... Bottle of enchanting. Bottle of enchanting. Where would something like that have even ended up if we found one? Probably in a bundle, because it's a kind of odd item that we probably wouldn't have much of. No. No, I don't think we have any. Actually, thinking about it, considering how many mods we have installed, is there a way we just make one? Liquid experience. Crushing, which is something we don't have access to yet. Is that really the only way you can get liquid experience? Huh, I thought it was a thing in base create. Guess not. I think that only really comes from the crushing wheel. Alright, I have no idea how we're going to do that. So maybe we don't worry about the plant deal for now. Do all the other plant things need those too? Yup. That is unfortunate. If we had access to the dissolution chamber, we could turn essence into bottles of enchanting. Okay, yes, we don't have a way to do that right now. So I guess it's one of these guys. Probably the fluid extractor, because that's the first step in the process. That looks pretty easy, aside from the machine frame, which we already made. 4 iron, lightweight pressure plate, which I think is just gold. Yeah. Piston. Weird. Maybe we won't end up being able to take that trip just yet. I wanted to head out toward the new base, but that might have to wait till next stream. depleting our rapidly dwindling supply of redstone. Piston is cobblestone? Yeah, and wood. Iron. I don't think I've ever used a light-weighted pressure plate for anything before. There's more iron than that. Goes there, and then these go here. Nope, nope. One more time. There we go. Power optional. I like that it says that. That makes life easier. We made the fluid extractor. Okay, so have some things that I'm curious about when it comes to this. Whoa, whoa. Violent. Planting thing was subtly telling us it wants more water, I guess. Hello? Sir? Should probably do something about those guys. Again, with these guys showing up with enchanted crossbows. Rude. I don't even know where your boss is. I'm not worried about it, though. Oh, boy. Feels like it's been a day already. Log. What I was looking for. Not the jungle log. I'm pretty sure we need that for stuff. Actually, we can just do that as many times as we want. It's so nice. Hey, look, all the logs we can need. That is way too powerful. Okay, so what if we just kind of set this guy up somewhere over here? Not connected to any of that stuff because I don't know if it should be or not. I'm not sure which end of this needs to be pointed toward the log. Oh, wait, it doesn't work on stripped logs, right. That was part of the problem. Mm. That did remind me of something that else I wanted to check out because of how some of our other mods are working. If I do... Where's that spot where I cut that log? Yeah. If I do this, not that. Wait, yeah, no, yeah, that. I thought it did not work because I need like a vanilla axe? Okay, yeah, I just needed to use a vanilla item. Okay, so that goes back to the original question. Take this. Then I put this log down here. And it's like, I can't take anything out of that because that log is stripped down already. And that's the state that it's using for that being exhausted. But then I take this bark, and I slap that on there. And... unsure. Ah! Okay, thank you, machine. That is appreciated. We have one of those, like, dozens of different wrenches available, so I can possibly do something about this. There we go. Nope, doesn't wanna. It's doing the thing. It's doing the thing. Look at it. It's a very slow process without power. I guess that's to be expected. It is literally doing that without any power. I don't know where the rest of the cables went for this. Wow, look at all this. Alright, maybe the marble's useful after all. What is using all the power currently? I don't think anything's actually using it. Maybe we just don't have any. Too late into the day to go to sleep. Wait a second. Just realized. Nope, wrong one. Also wrong one. This is impressive. There's there's the other cables. Okay. Because, yeah, that's not actually an AE2 thing, because that wants these cables. Speaking of, that should probably go in here along with other stuff. Okay, back to the original question, because I see that power, like, starting to... Oh, that's where. It's just fumbling into that. Let's have you not do that. Whatever. We'll just route some more power to it, whichever way. How about do this? No, it's going somewhere else. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay, so then in theory, we can take some of that flux cable and temporarily route it over here. I mean, it's doing it. It doesn't seem like it's doing it any faster. Oh, right. Probably because I need to configure this thing. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it just does that like 3 times faster because the progress bar only refills to 30 instead of to 100. Okay. That's still quite the process. That's still something we're going to have to, like, just leave there to do its thing. That's fine. It's working. We're making progress. It's a little bit strange, rather non-linear progress, but it's progress. Definitely not going to be able to just leave this like this, because that's just in the way. Other thing I'm thinking about that is we should take advantage of the situation. And not that one. Wrong tank. Where's the other one? The one with the resin in it. Take advantage of the fact that this sitting here not doing anything. And put some resin in here. So we can go back to converting that into tree oil, which we're using for fuel. Some of these machine system deals are kind of working for themselves. This is kind of powering itself. Sorta. Kinda, a little bit. Okay, it's been a mess, but I think we probably are going to have to wrap up, because it's gotten pretty late at this point. But the rest of our machines are able to do their thing. Guys are all running and doing their various functions and all that, including a new one, which we didn't have before. So that's now doing its thing, so we're working towards getting access to rubber. We'll have to build another machine frame. Twice compacted wood is still a really weird concept, but we'll figure out what's going on with that later. Alright, so I guess next time we'll try and build the processing unit so we can actually start turning that stuff into plastic. We're not going to have enough redstone, so we'll have to solve that somehow. And then I think the step after that is finishing up packing and moving to the new base. I think we're pretty much at the point where we can just kind of do that. I think most of the crucial stuff is kind of handled. I'm not sure what I want to do about the nether portal. Maybe we'll go through there and just gather enough lava that we can just make another one, and then just leave that one where it is. Definitely got to bring this with us. Honestly, I should just grab it while I'm out here. It's empty. Alright. And I think I did some tweaks to the gyrocopter previously to get it ready for our trip. We now have a gyroscope, which will help to keep us stable and negate the effect of the wind blowing us around. And then we also have improved landing gear, which will help us take off more smoothly. Which is good, since we gotta pedal that thing down the runway for it to take off. I do still want to make a better vehicle for us to use to travel, but that can be a later project. Since it sounds like we have a lot of infrastructure work to do to get to that point. Actually, looking at this, is there anything else here that doesn't really belong? Fresh zinc. The guidebook in there. That's strange matter stuff. Oh dang, maybe we can fit all the 82 stuff in the same container. I think that hand crank's still supposed to go in there too. But that's close enough. That's almost everything. And the box is nothing but stuff from that setup, so that's kind of the important part. Not important that it all fit in one box, but I do like the idea that it's all the specific stuff in that one. Kind of wish you could like write on them, but that's probably asking a bit much. Alright, so now that's mostly AE2, or not AE2, strange matter stuff. So that's nice. Probably do need to put together a box for like all the thermal stuff. Yeah, we're kind of getting to that point. Why does it do that every now and then? It just like violently shoots that thing up into the air. I also don't know where we ended up putting the rest of the Panvita. But we'll figure that out at some point. For now, it was a kind of turbulent stream. We ended up with a lot of different stuff and went a lot of different places, but we're making headway and we're well on our way towards packing up the whole base and moving out. So we'll hopefully finish that up next stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow because the holidays have my work schedule all bent out of shape. So we'll have to see. I might end up streaming on Wednesday instead, just because work is wacky. I'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. So for now, I'm gonna head out. Thanks everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Regulars, new people, lurkers, mods. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on what my work schedule ends up doing. Thanks again, and let's do this again.